welcome back to Life's Lane Yaps. We are currently stuck in some traffic and realized we hadn't updated anything about our overseas move in a hot minute.
Yeah, since we packed up.
So we're gonna kind of run down some of the things that have happened because it's been really stressful the last like week.
If I had hair to lose, I'd be bald.
So let's see, we got home we left Disney World and went back to my parents just for a day. Got a rental car. Thankfully it got upgraded. I think I talked about this a little bit in our travel the last vlog, but to a, if you haven't watched it, to a luxury SUV, which has been a godsend, to be honest. We drove back in 2 days from Mississippi to California, checked into a Motel 6, which only lasted the night.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible, but it was missing a few things that we really needed.
Yeah.
So we just couldn't stay.
Honestly, for like a one-night stay, it was fine, yeah. But because both dogs are on meds, and we give those meds in CHEESE, then there was no fridge. And then we were going to be there for, like I said, about 5 nights. 5 nights, yeah. And so it would have been really nice to be able to keep, you know, beverages or something in the room. But we found another place that was a little bit of an upgrade. Basically, they were old apartments that were converted into a hotel. So we had like a 1-bedroom apartment with a full kitchen, which was great. And then the drama started. So I had to go back to work and do the stuff I needed to do to check out of my command. And we also had to print out some paperwork, do some emails to finish getting everything squared away to get the dogs to Japan. If you are ever doing a military move to Japan with dogs, start as early as you can. Talk to your base vet as early as you can.
I would say at least 8 or 9 months ahead, if you can. Because
the problems we face dealt with getting bad information or not getting responses to requests for information. And so we were a little behind the curve. And that's on us. Like, we kind of did put some stuff off on our, you know. Yeah. But the dogs require 180 days of quarantine, and that can be done in the house. And so they've actually been in their quarantine period for almost been, by the time we get there, about almost 4 months. Luna 3. So on top of that, you have to, once you have your flight details, if you're flying commercial, which we are, you have to notify the airport in Japan of your arrival, and they have to give you approval.
Oh, and you have to notify them 40 days in advance.
Yeah,
they want you to notify them 40 days in advance.
They waive a lot for military members,
right, but being military, there's practically no way that's possible.
So we submitted that paperwork Monday evening here. By Tuesday afternoon, I had an email back requesting just some additional information, which was easy. I just had to scan some paperwork and send it in. By Wednesday, I had another email back asking for one last update. And so if you do have a pet that is going in cargo, check with the airline before you submit the approved paperwork to Japan, or to Narita, which is the airport in Tokyo, because we're flying United and Luna is being shipped through United Pet Safe Cargo. So you have to tell them whether it's hand luggage or cargo. Momo is hand luggage, obviously, because he's going to be in cabin with us. But I'm going through United Pet Safe Cargo, so I put cargo for Luna. Not the case. Because of military orders, we get a little bit of special treatment, so she's actually going to be delivered to us at baggage claim, in which case Narita wants her marked as hand luggage. So we got all that taken care of, and we had their approval form from Narita, which was great. That was actually much less.
That was actually the easiest part of the whole thing.
It was much less, or much more painless, much less painful.
Yeah, there you go.
Than I expected that to be.
Yeah.
The thing that's been a pain is been with United. First of all, when I called to book the original transport for her, I found out that the airport we initially were booked out of had a heat embargo until September 30th. We're flying out August 30th. So I had to do multiple calls back and forth, probably on the phone for 3 hours our last day in Mississippi, rearranging our flights, paying fees for that, making sure that Momo's booking to be in cabin transferred to the new flights, and then booking Luna. Luna's costing us a lot. I was not expecting her fee to be as high as it was, so just for those who may be doing this in the future, I want to give you a ballpark figure, but it's over $1,000. So I was expecting, you know, $400 or $500.
That's what it was to come back from Italy or something.
Well, that was for all of y'all together,
Yeah.
all three of y'all, because I sent them separately back from Italy. Was like less than $600 because we got a cheap flight from a Italian-based airline. But anyways, we digress. I stopped breathing when the agent said $1,000 and kept going. So I'm not even sure exactly how much over $1,000 it is until we get to the airport tomorrow morning and pay it. Though yes, we are in a spot that we can afford that. Someone who may be a more junior military service member, or even someone else who is around the same level we are, who just hasn't planned for that, that's gonna cut a big chunk out of your budget. So plan for that. With that being said, all that was taken care of, and then at the time of booking, I confirmed with them that the paperwork they wanted 5 days prior to flight. I could have everything but the health certificate, because we already had an appointment booked. Here comes the fun part with that too.
Yeah.
So in order to fly your pet, even in the US, to be on a flight, you have to have a health certificate signed off by a vet within 10 days of flying. When you're going overseas, it typically has to be someone who's a USDA certified vet. So for us, it's just easier to go to a military vet. As soon as we knew what our flights were, Dawn called to book an appointment and was told
Our base vet was out for the week.
that we needed an appointment.
Yep.
And they recommended some nearby bases that we could contact. And by nearby, we mean
2.5 hour drive.
But honestly,
Ended up being a great thing.
this vet, so it was at Fort Irwin, which is in the middle of the desert. It's like the army version of 20 Palms, Marine Corps Air Combat Training Center. Combat McCaxie. I put a T in there somewhere.
Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center.
There we go. I put a T in there. It doesn't belong. 3 years. Do you think I'd have that? Anyways, they were great. Had we known, we would have probably booked with them anyways, and we probably would have tried to book with them earlier so that we could get in earlier, because the paperwork that I had to handwrite in for both dogs to send to Narita, the airport, they are able to edit that PDF that I wasn't able to edit, and typed all that stuff up and gave it to Dawn. Luna, I know you're ready to get out of the car. I'm sorry. We're almost there. They gave us a lot of information. They had a much more comprehensive paperwork pack.
Oh yeah, they like double and triple checked everything to make sure we were squared away, because we weren't. like information that we were given by our own base clinic saying, oh yeah, you're good to go. We were not good to go. And so they double and triple checked everything to make sure it was where it needed to be.
Even the day before the appointment.
Yep.
Which is why Tuesday was so stressful.
Yeah.
Because they contacted, between both of us, they contacted us probably about 3 or 4 times that day. To let us know that Momo's most recent rabies certificate didn't have his microchip number on, and that was a whole other fiasco that we're not going to really get into because we finally got it straightened out and got that added on his. Don was able to double check, and one of Luna's didn't have hers, and he did that anyways, but it wasn't the most recent one, so it wasn't as pertinent. Something else, was it Momo's blood work that has to be done to start their quarantine. It's called a FABN test, and it's basically like it's a titer to make sure that they are vaccinated against rabies. The vet at our base didn't sign his, and so
he was supposed to be gone all week.
Yeah, thankfully, even though he was on leave, he was still in town, and the clerk or front desk girl at the vet at our base was able to get it to him to have it signed. So we got that squared away. Don drives the 2.5 hours Wednesday out to Fort Irwin with both dogs. Gets all this paperwork, everything's good, everything's fine. He drives the 2.5 hours back, drops him back off at the hotel, grabs some food, whatever, and then brings the paperwork to me at work so that I could scan it into the airline. Within 20 minutes I get a call. They won't accept Luna's paperwork because it said mixed breed. This is only an issue with United. This is not an issue with the airport in Japan. This was not an issue with the vet. This was an issue with United, and we assume it's because of all the breed restrictions they have on what they will allow to fly. So again, Fort Irwin vet office, being the godsend that they were, we were able to call them. They updated the form, emailed it to me so I could go ahead and upload it into the system, but in order to fly you have to have the original. So today we drove, after I finished the last bit of things I had to do to get out of the command, we checked out our hotel, loaded up the car, we drove the 2.5 hours back to Fort Irwin to pick up the new forms for Luna.
And they were closed today for inventory, and they still allowed me to come in and be able to pick up the forms because they knew how important it was.
So again, godsend. Thank you. What was her name that helped you yesterday?
Sierra.
Sierra. If Sierra from Fort Irwin Vet Clinic ever sees this, thank you. So we picked that up, got back in the car, and are now on our way to San Diego, which was supposed to be like a 4-hour drive. And it's a little more than that because traffic. To stay with my sister tonight. We have to, our flight's at 7:30, but little miss, I don't know where she went. Anyways, Luna has to be checked in 3 hours prior. You do the math, 3 hours, it's 4:30 in the morning. We have to have this one checked in at the luggage counter.
By 4:30, so we need to get there at like probably 4 or so.
Because we also have to turn the rental car. So that's kind of our update with the dogs and the drama that's been.
If all goes well, we'll all get on planes tomorrow and be in Japan by Saturday afternoon.
Japan local time.
Right. It'd be like midnight, a little past midnight, California time, yeah.
Baby girl, I know you want to get out of the car. I'm sorry. So anything else you wanted to add?
Just that, you know, just so if anyone ever PCS in Japan with a pet, make sure you have forms for their two most recent rabies shots with their microchips and names and everything matching. Have the original FABN form, make sure it's signed by your vet, and you should be good to go. Just make sure you follow the instructions with your local airport going to Japan. And all this information, by the way,
enough, Luna.
all this information is actually on the USDA website. You could just Google it, like USDA pet to Japan, and it'll give you all that information for both civilians and military. Military is a little bit easier, but most of the information is the same. So just go to the USDA's website and you can find it.
But that's been our drama for the week. It's made the process of the last week a little more stressful than we would have liked. It's made it not at kind of taken away some of the excitement of going. So hopefully once we arrive, things will at the airport tomorrow. From the airport arrival tomorrow, I'm putting it out there. It's gonna be smooth sailing. Positivity and putting it into the universe and all of that.
I hope that's why we've gone through all this, and so we have it easy on the flight.
Yeah. And I'm sure maybe we'll kind of do some stuff here and there.
Yeah, we'll vlog some while we're on the travels and the flights and stuff like that.
Yeah, because we got like 11 hours. So we'll probably edit or add some of that travel stuff in, and probably a different video, huh? Yeah, different video. But check it out to see how it goes, and then we'll have, of course, some of our first impressions, some of the stuff that we're doing when we get there. I'm sure we'll probably do some of the house hunting stuff, especially if we have to live off base, because we don't know yet. If we get on base, maybe we'll do a quick vlog about how that process goes for anybody that's going to be coming in the near future. And
regardless of what we get, I'm sure we'll do an empty house tour.
Oh, absolutely.
And all that stuff. Absolutely.
And then if we do have to live out in town, we'll definitely do some house hunting videos. Because all the stuff that we've tried to find on YouTube, most of them are several years old.
Yeah.
So.
And most of it's civilian stuff, so it's a little bit different than what we have to deal with.
Yeah. So we'll make sure to post that just again for anybody who is attached with military services and having to go to that area in the future.
Yeah.
But for now, we are getting very close to my sister's house. Thank goodness, because I think we're all ready to be out of the car. We've only, let me see, we've only put about 3,000 miles on this car since we picked it up.
Right.
Less than a week ago?
A week ago today.
Did we pick it up on Thursday? Oh, we picked it up on Thursday. Yeah, a week ago today, we put almost 3,000 miles on this car. So with that being said, we're off. Again, if you liked the video and think it was informative, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, add on the notification bell, so you're notified every time we put out new content. You can always follow us
on Twitter
at
LNYeps.
Alright, anything else?
Nope.
Okay, we'll see you real soon.